Good morning, everybody. So today I thought I would just touch on it's sort of a whole little list of stuff that will really help your business move forward, but is also kind of quick and easy to do. Just knock out one thing at a time, all of them things that are fairly easy and that are free or pretty close to free, and that you can do that will sort of get your business bumping up a little bit, you know, seeming more legitimate or more like a real business, right? So, and all of them are things that are easy to do and that you probably know you need to do. It's just that you haven't done them yet. So, you need to, if you haven't started, really locking down some sort of logo or branding, do work on that. Go back to that. Come up with something, even if you end up changing it. Go ahead and come up with a name and something for now. Okay. I would think that at this point in the process, you have come up with a name, even if it is just your own name for now, is part of the business. So get yourself on social media and get accounts set up for your business. Everybody is comfortable with different things. So, because I'm elderly, of course, I do a lot of primarily Facebook. When you go into Facebook and set up a business account, they'll take you over, try to take you over pretty quickly to Meta's business suite. You kind of go over there and hang out, right? Which works. And you will get, you can set that up. Get yourself a page going so that, and also if you go on Instagram, that also will set you up in the Meta Business Suite. You do whatever you're comfortable doing. But get yourself some sort of social media presence. I also, for my personal reference, on my laptop have a sticky note on my laptop that contains the link, the hyperlink, over to my Facebook page. I find that I'm in a lot of groups and they're like, oh, it's, Small Business Friday, put the link to your business here. For me not to have to go hunt that down again is really convenient. So I've got it on my desktop on a sticky, the link straight over to my page so that I can really easily post that link in lots of other places if I want to. Go ahead and get yourself set up with some banking that is not the same as your personal banking account. Do that. Check your bank and see what they have for business accounts. I use an online bank that what I had happen was I had checked online at my personal bank, the one that I use for every day, because I was like, well, that's obviously going to be the easiest option, right? And their business accounts were all set up for people that I will say, it was more of a real business. The minimum amount to start the account was high, their fees were high. It was just not set up for the kind of starting out business that I was dealing with. So I found a different bank. And I found one that was specifically an online bank that had a good reputation. It was a legitimate bank, but had, a lower, I think it was $50 to set up the checking, which I could manage that. I couldn't manage thousands of dollars just to open a checking account, right? When that's not something that that most of us starting out are going to be able to pull off successfully. So, look around, get that bank account set up. And once that happens, go ahead and set up payment options for yourself. I already had a personal Venmo account. It's fairly easy to add a business Venmo account that is attached, so that you can transfer money back and forth between the accounts pretty easily. And you have the option of which account to deposit money into and all of that jazz. A lot of my clients use Venmo. I don't have any other, I don't have Cash App or Zelle or any of those other ones like that. I didn't want to get too deep into it. You can get a chip reader for free if you get a Square chip reader. That's the one that attaches to your phone, just the little one. I think they're free. Mine was free. You can get that so that you can take debit cards. Cool. And you can get all of that set up. Get it all set up and going. Now, at some point, as you're doing this, and depending on the bank, I'm trying to remember because it's been a while. I think that I had established the LLC prior to doing a bank account. And so it may be something you can snoop around. I think I did. I think I had the LLC prior. You want to do that. Like I said, in the earlier video, you go to your One Stop, fill out that paperwork, and get yourself an LLC. The one in Kentucky also automatically connects you over to the Kentucky Department of Revenue because, it's welcome to business, welcome to democracy or capitalism or whatever it is. Immediately they're going to want you to start collecting and reporting taxes. Now, when I first got my LLC, I thought, because it had been this way, I swear it was weird. Some states, you don't pay sales taxes on services, specific services. You are going to have to look and see in your state how that works because every state is a little different. I think this, where I was at some point didn't have that happen. You have some options when you go to collect it, but for right now, what you need to know is that, if you need to go set up your LLC, go do that. They will send you paperwork from the IRS with your EIN number on it. It's super exciting when that shows up. It's a single piece of paper with your EIN. You need to protect that piece of paper at all costs. It is the business equivalent of a social security number. You're going to need it at various times, and without going into a great bit of detail about it, my experience with this in general has been, if you can't find that EIN, if you need a replacement EIN, and you call the IRS to get another copy of it or to get information about it, it's a pretty intricate series of questions that you have to be able to answer in order to access that information. They are very careful who they give that information to, which is good. Don't want them just handing it out to anybody, but guard that piece of paper, write that number down in more than one place, so that also, if you ever need to call them, that you've got that information. You're going to need that EIN off and on a lot. So get that, get your LLC established, get on social media, get a bank account, get some payment stuff set up so that your clients can pay you a couple different ways. When I first started, I was strictly Venmo or cash. I added debit card later. I still have people pay me in cash, probably a fourth of the time. I have had a couple people write checks. That was an exception to the rule. I normally don't really do that. There were specific circumstances where I felt comfortable doing that. My online bank, just as you upload a picture of the check, it's no big deal. I wasn't aware that people even still wrote checks, but okay. So, you can make those decisions. Also, you want to get yourself an email account for your business. If you are going to, and right away that you're going to be making a website for yourself and you can use an email through that website, that's fine. If not, get yourself, just a Gmail account that is your business Gmail account. That is separate from your personal one. Go ahead and separate those out so that you can use that email as you're going through all of these processes and that you have a place that it all goes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that is just one of those quick and easy things that you can knock out. You are going to want to get insurance set up. When I first started and was working out of my home, I just contacted my homeowner's insurance and said, hey, hi, I'm going to be doing bridal alterations out of my house and I need to, add some insurance. And they were very happy to just kind of put a rider or an extra thing onto my homeowner's insurance to cover the business stuff since it was working out of my home. This is really important that you do it for a couple reasons. The main ones being, first of all, is that you have people's wedding dresses in your home or in your business space. We all know how much those cost. We all know how much it would cost to replace them. And if something were to happen, you want to make sure that your insurance covers it. Your insurance that is just regular homeowners for your house is likely not going to be very willing to cover other people's stuff that you have in your home that belongs to other people, that is part of a business that you're running out of your home. I think it was like, $30 a month or something to add that insurance onto my home. The other thing is you want to make sure that if you have people, whether it's coming to your home or coming to you in some other place, you want to make sure that if somebody falls down on your steps or, whatever, that you are covered if they decide to sue you for, falling down or getting hurt in some way on your property as part of your business. Got to cover your butt on stuff like that. You know how easy it would be. Right now I have a lot of wedding gowns here. And if I do the math on the wedding gowns, it would add up to a pretty decent amount of money. Not to mention my equipment costs, it's a lot, and you want to make sure that you have insurance for it. When you go to rent a place, especially if it's a commercial place, they're going to probably require you to have insurance anyway. So just go ahead and get it going. I did end up eventually, when I moved out of my home, of course, the policy changed, but just get it started so that you're covered. You don't want to have something happen where you really need insurance and do not have it. That would be a very bad thing. So you want to get that taken care of. Okay, so social media, email, bank account, Venmo, like a Square, if that's the way you're going with it. Those are all things that are fairly easy to knock out. Yes, you're going to need to go back and make sure that you've got an LLC or however you're going to set the business up. I keep saying it's an LLC. You don't have to make it as an LLC. It's just going to be the most common option, I think, for most of us. And with an LLC, your income from the business goes onto your tax return. Yes, the deductions and everything else, yes, but LLC is not a federal tax classification. It is a state classification. For your federal tax return, your business income will be part of your personal return. We'll deal with that later. But get your LLC set up. This is the time. Go ahead and do it. Get it registered and do the things that they want you to do. And probably what's going to happen is if you try to do these in an order that the universe doesn't like, is it's going to, back up and tell you no. If you try to open a bank account and it's a business account and you don't have an LLC, they might be like, yeah, no, wait. And you're going to have to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to do that a couple days from now, not today. Just knock those things out. All of those may cost you a little bit. You're going to have a little money to drop into the bank when you first start your bank account. Setting up the LLC, I think that there is a little bit of a cost to that. It's not outrageous. It's a fairly small price. Setting up an email, setting up social media, free. It just takes some time to do, but you can knock them out fairly easily. And then you can figure out, how to connect everything together, how to make all of it work. Take a look at the Venmo once you get the business thing set up and see how to transfer money back and forth. Just have all of that ready to go as your business grows. That's already in place. It's easier to do it early on and get it established. Another thing that I did that is just a little small point of reference, my Venmo account, because a lot of people were using Venmo and I was constantly pulling my phone out and like I said, when we were talking about naming our business, there's a lot of In Stitches names. In Stitches by Becky Scott. Sometimes they would put that in the search and it would be hard to come up with and blah, blah. So if you go into Venmo, when I go to Canva, I can make a QR code. I made a QR code that Venmo gave me, a QR code to be able to go, there goes my light again, to be able to go straight into my account on Venmo. It's a QR code that if a client scans their phone, takes it straight to my page. I have that in the front of my folder where my bookkeeping stuff is. I used to have it hanging on the wall. Haven't done that yet. But it makes it so much easier for you to get payment from Venmo, just to have that giant QR code that somebody can just scan and it goes right there. And you don't have to mess around with how to find you. And anytime you can do things like that, that makes it easier for the client, go ahead and do it. I mean, printing out a sheet with a QR code on it is not a big deal, but it made a huge difference when it came time for clients to pick up clothing from me. So that is that for today. I'm going to finish this bustle up and move on to, I guess, whatever is next on my list. I'll see you later.